Hello guys and welcome back. So now in this video we want to create the method to start the game when you click on play here. Okay, so for that we have to go back to the game provider and then we need to now create the method to play the game. Okay, so here let's create our method. So this is going to be start game. Okay, so this is going to be a void method. Let's say void okay, can see that Copilot here has created some of these. So let's click tab and then let's just see what we can change here, because there's a lot of things that we need to do here. Okay, so first its setting is playing to true, and then it's setting game over to false. Yeah, this is true. We need to set all of these things, but some of the things we can put them in the separate class. Okay, so like now let's create first the method to reset the game data. Okay, so let's say reset game. So this method, that's where we can put most of these things before we start the game. Okay, so let's put them down here. So this, maybe let's create a future method. This is going to be a void because we always want to wait for the data to be reset. So reset game. Okay, so even here it has given us some something. So first, what we want to do in this reset, first let me just remove everything here. First we want to set the seconds. Okay, set the seconds to 0. Okay, so these seconds, it will depend on the also if it's time mode. So first we're going to get these seconds, and then we are going to check this is because if it is time mode, is time mode. Okay, so if it is time mode, what we are going to do is we're just gonna set the duration which is there. Okay, because we are resetting. Okay, the duration that is being picked, that is going to be put if it's time mode, else we're just gonna put it to 0. Okay, we have resetted the time. Now we also need to set the duration. Okay, so now next is set duration. So this duration, now we need to set it to the duration that is picked. Okay, we go up here, the duration, where is that? Game duration is 30. Okay, so we need to set what is there if we are resetting the game. So we're here. Okay, game duration. No, here we don't want to set the duration. Actually, here we want to set the time which we are going to be displaying to the user. There is a time that we displayed, yeah, this playtime. Okay, we want to set the playtime. So setting the playtime, we can use our newly created method. So where is that? The reset game here. Okay, so here let's set playtime. Okay, so we're just gonna say set playtime, and then here what we're going to do is we're going to get that playtime which is there, but we want to set it with what we were doing. We want to set the seconds so that we can have the time which is being set. So here we know that we've got our method which is said get time. We created the method in the global. This method get display game time. Okay, so here we're just gonna say display game time, and then we're going to pass the seconds. Okay, and pass them there. That's how we're going to set that time. We can see we're using that method. Then after we set that, we can go ahead and now set these, like the score. Let's cut it from here. We'll set it back to 0 because we are resetting the game. Where is the computer score? We're setting it also to 0. And then what else? My current word index, computer's word index, all of these. Okay, and also the game over. Okay, so let's cut all of these. and then we are putting them here because we just want to create a separate method to reset the game. So right after we put these as default, then we can notify the changes like that. Okay, so now we don't have to call all of those methods here. We just need to call here in the start game. So first we are going to set is playing to true, and then next we are going to reset the game here. Okay, we're just gonna, this method we have to await it. Okay, so maybe let's even put it at the beginning here. So first we want to reset game, which is going to await reset game. So we just need to add async keyword here to remove that error. So now this method, we're going to be using it every time we want to reset the game. Okay, so we reset the game here, and then we set it that is playing to true. So right after we set the is playing to true, we can notify the changes. Actually, let's just put this on top, because when we notify the changes in here, even this change will be notified. Okay, the next method that we're going to do here is to start the timer. Okay, so start timer. So this also, we need to create a separate method for timers. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So maybe down here after this reset game, let's create the method to start the timer. Okay, start timer. Now this is also going to be a void method. Start timer. So this one here, let's require some things. Okay, so I can see that our assistant has already just created. Let's click tab. Now here, there's a lot of checks that we need to do before we even go along with these. Okay, so first we want to pass the function, which can be nullable. This function is going to be let's call it so let's put it a function like that, and then this is going to be timer. So this is going to be called if the time is up. Okay, we're going to call this method. Okay, now all we have to do now is just to, let's just go through what Copilot is doing here. So its play time is periodic, and then it's counting every second, and then here it's calling this time, and then what is happening here, if it's just counting the time until it's going, but for us we want to do some checks here. Okay, so inside here, what I would do is I'm just gonna remove everything that the assistant has done, and then I'm going to write a comment, check if the time is up. Okay, so first I'm not gonna check that. First what I will do is check if it is time mode. So I'll do check if it's time mode and time is okay, it's time up. Okay, so this check, I'm gonna check it like this. If first I will check if it is time mode, and so here I'm gonna put and seconds is equals to 0. Okay, so if it is time mode and second is equals to 0, we're going to do that. Else it's not time mode, we're going to do another thing. Okay, so if it is time mode, the first thing that we're going to do, so all of these things, these we can do them like that, or we can just put a method which says the stop game method, okay, which is what we are going to do. Okay, so instead of putting all of these here, let's cut this out. We want to cut this, and then what we want to say is a stop game. Okay, stop game. So this is going to be a method, so I don't want the AI to do that. I'm just gonna create this method. So we're going to call the stop game here, stop game. Okay, we will create the method for that. So after we call our stop game, that's when we are going to call our timer up here. Okay, great. So now in the else, this is it should be the else if. Okay, so here we should go another else if. We'll do another check. So here we're going to check if we have won, if because here we're checking if it's time mode. Now we are checking the scores if we have won. Okay, we're going to check if score is equals to number of words. Okay, then we have to stop the game, so we have to close that bracket here. Okay, so if this again we have won, if our score is equals to number of words, then we have won. So again we are going to call a method to stop the game. Okay, in the else we are just going to tick to increment the time. The time is going to keep on going. Okay, so instead of again calling this, let's create a method to tick. Okay, so we're going to create this method again to tick the time like that. Okay, so this is going to be now our method for time. First we are going to start counting the time. So if it is time mode here, and if it's time mode, we know that if it's for time, we are counting down. Okay, so if it is equals to 0, we know that the game is over. We're going to stop the game and then call time up. Okay, and then if it's not time mode, we know that it's for scores. We are going to check our score. If it is equal to number of words, then the game is over. We have to stop the game. Okay, else if none of this is met, we are just the time is just going to be ticking. It's either counting down or going up if it's not time mode. Okay, so now next let's create let's start by creating this method for ticking the time. So this method, we're just gonna come here and then let's say time tick. So void tick. So in this method, we're just gonna check, okay, if again if it's time mode. So if it is time mode, you know that we need to decrement the time, else we need to increase the time. Okay, yeah, like that. If it's time mode, we're just gonna count, will be counting down. If it's not time mode, we'll be counting up like that. Okay, and then while we are doing this, we should now also display the time. Okay, play time, we are going to be displaying the time, what is happening, and then every time we're going to be notifying the changes like that. Okay, so this one, it's going to be this method here, and then next we have to create the stop game method. So for the stop game method, again, let's come down here, let's create the stop game. So this again is going to be a void method. So let's just click tab. Our assistant has created it. So now this is not going to be the only thing that is happening here. We need to check a lot of things here. Okay, so in this stop game method, let's pass some things. Okay, so first let's pass a bool. This is going to be quit. We will initialize it to false, and then bool, we have cancel. This is going to also be initialized to false. And then what else? Okay, so we need to put these as like that. We'll put them inside the brackets like that. Okay. Next one, what do we need? Let's okay, for now let's just get the cancel and the quit. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is playing. We're going to set it to false, and then the play timer we have to cancel it, and then the computer timer we have to cancel it. So this one, the computer timer, let's not cancel it here, okay, because we might not even have started it if we're playing multiplayer. Okay, because this method, we are going to be calling it a universal everywhere we want. So now calling this cancel computer time, we might not have started it. Okay, we can only call this if we are playing single player. Okay, so what we're gonna do is this canceling of a computer timer. First, let's move it down. What we know that we're definitely going to be calling is the game over. Let's cut that, then paste it here. And then also, what else can we cancel here? So the words, let's return them to empty. Okay, words, let's equal them to the default like that. Yeah, let's do like that. Yeah, maybe just this. This is all the things that we know that we have to cancel them no matter what. And then after that, now we need to check. Okay, we check if we are playing multiplayer. Okay, if play, let's see, is that game mode? If game mode, yeah, if game mode, we have to check if game mode is equals to single player, then we have to get things for single player. In the else, we have to get the things for multiplayer. Okay, so this cancel computer timer, let's cut it. Now we need to call it here if it was a single player. Then all of these things first, let's cut them. Okay, we are dealing with here. This we know that it's going to be happening no matter what. And then next is we have to check if it is single player. We have to cancel the computer timer. And then next thing now is after we cancel the computer time, so we are not gonna notify anything yet. Maybe we'll just notify everything at the end. Okay, we have to check again if we quitted. Okay, because if the game is running and then we press stop, we're going to take that as the player has quitted. Okay, so first maybe here let's notify the changes. Okay, and then now here we're going to check if quit. Okay, if quit, you are going to return the result as you have quitted. Okay, now okay, you can see that now it is checking everything. Okay, if this quit is true, we are going to return the result as a quit. And then if cancel is true, we are going to return the result as a. So this cancel, we are not going to check inside the single player, because here this canceling, we will use it in the multiplayer, because this is where you can cancel. Okay, because there when you, for example, you have created the game, now you just want to cancel it, that's when we'll call this cancel to true. So here we don't want to check cancel. Okay, let's check other results. So let's remove cancel. Let's just bring this up to here. Okay, like that. So if quit is true, we are going to return that you have quitted. Now here we have checked if your result, my score, is equals to greater than computer score, the result is going to be win. Else if this is equals to computer score, the result is going to be draw. Else, else the result is going to be lose. Okay, so this is how we're going to determine the results. Okay, if it's a single player. And then maybe now only here, that's when let's cut it down here. After we have checked all of this, that's when we are going to notify the changes. Okay, great. Now the rest here is going to be for multiplayer. Okay, for multiplayer. So this is to do. We are going to do this later when we get to the multiplayer part. Okay. So right now in the stop game, these are the only methods that we need. Okay. This is a method for a stop game. Okay. Now let's go back. So here we say that we have to call start timer. Okay, start timer. Okay, now that inside start timer there is a method which is a time up. Okay, this time up is going to be the function that we will call if it's time up. So we need to go back in the start timer method here, and then we in the start game we also need that function of start the time up, so that if it happens here we call it even here. Okay, so let's go ahead and call it here. So let's say function which is nullable, which is a time up. All right, like that. So what we're gonna do is let's also wrap these in the brackets. Okay, now here we have to call, we get that time up. So now here in this function, all we have to do is we have to check if is time mode. We will call our time up function, which we are going to return. Else we're just gonna say now. Okay, then that's all we need to do here. Okay, so whenever this function happens inside here, we're going to call it even up here. Okay, and then that's all we need to do. Now the next thing after we call this start timer here, next is to generate the words. So before we even generate the words again, so let's cut this, remove that. Here first we also need to check, we only want to generate random words if it's a single player. If it's a multiplayer, we're not going to do this. Okay, we'll create a method for multiplayer. Okay, so here we have to check if game mode, if game mode is equals to single player, and then that's when we are going to create this, we're going to generate. So let's cut this, and then here we have to generate the random words. Okay, so let's go to this method, and then it's okay, it's already a future here. Let's just await generate random word. Okay, now right after we generate the random words, now we can start the computer's timer. Okay, so here even in the computer's timer we have to check the time up. Okay, so here in the computer's timer, so this start computer time is going to be where we are going to create the logic for the computer to play the game. Okay, so here, even here, we are going to pass our, what can we name it? So let's name this as a win game. Okay, and then we're gonna call the time up. Okay, now let's go ahead and then create this start computer timer, because now when you start here, we're going to start the computer timer and then create the logic for the computer to play the game. But maybe this video now is too long. Let's just end it right here, and then in the next one we're going to create the method to start the computer time. I think there's still some time. We can create this method really quickly. Okay, so this start game so ends up to here. Let's create this start computer timer. So maybe let's bring it after the start timer, or after, just maybe after the stop game here, down here. Okay, so void start computer timer. Let's click tab. Okay, yeah, so this is the start computer timer. Now here we need to do a lot of things. Okay, so first let's remove what assistant has created here. So first, what we want is to get the computer weight, okay? Computer current weight, okay? Initialize empty computer weight, just the weight that the computer is going to be making, okay? Or maybe let's change this to AI. Yeah, I think this sounds nice. Start AI timer. So even here, let's change everything to AI. Yeah, we're just gonna make him badass. So AI, and then here, first we're going to say variable AI word is going to be empty, okay? And then now we are going to make a map, okay? We have to loop through a map of levels of duration to switch between the level depending on the computer level, okay? So let's loop through a map. So here we have to make a lookup map, okay? Look, I'm just gonna write a comment and then see if the computer will come up with what I want to make. Lookup map for level duration, okay? For level duration, yeah, like that. So here I'm going to say constant level duration. This is going to equal to, now we're going to make that map. So here now I'm going to make the level, yeah, like that. So let's click tab. So we need to remove that extra bracket and then just close it here. Now this is not how I'm going to set. So 3 is going to be easy, 2 is going to be medium, and then 1. But this is not how I'm going to set it. I want to put the durations here, okay? So like for example, easy, the computer will make the move each maybe each second it will make a move, okay? So here I'm going to say duration duration like that. Then inside here I'm going to get millisecond, okay? Milliseconds, and then 1000, okay? Like each second, what I'll do is each second a computer will write one word, okay? Per second, each second, like 1 second it will write one letter, 2 another letter, 3 another letter. That's how the difficulty is going to be, okay? So the easy, each second it will write one letter, okay? And then now we have to go to the medium. So now the medium, I need to think. So this is also going to depend upon you guys. So I'm just gonna go with my assistant's recommendation. So on easy, for every 500 milliseconds, the computer will write a letter, okay? And then on the hard, it's going to do that for every 250 seconds, okay? The computer is going to write one letter, okay? So this is now the difficulty of the computer, okay? So if your difficulty is easy, for every 1000 milliseconds, it's going to be writing a letter. Medium, and then hard, and so on and so forth, okay? Great. Now that we've got the map to select the level, next I'm going to get the duration that has been selected, okay? I will say get the duration based on the level, okay? I'm going to say based on the level, okay? Based on the current level. Now here we have to do the to get now we get that time. Final duration is going to be the duration of the what we have selected here, okay, the level duration. Okay, all right, now here now, so this level duration is going to be based on the computer level what we have selected up above. Okay, so yeah, and then now next here we need to do what we were doing now, exactly what we were doing for the user when we started the timer. So here we have to get the computer's time now. Okay, so yeah, our coding assistant is simply going to create that. So let's go ahead and create tab. Now here, let's go through this. So computer timer is going to be periodic, and then here it says duration. So this is actually not fine, because here we need to get this duration which is here. So why we are having this error? Because here we need to put a now check. Okay, we need to make sure it's not now. Okay, now the error is gone. Okay, now inside here we also need to have some checks for the computers. This assistant has just put in code here, so let's remove everything inside here. Let's create our code. Okay, so here we want to check, yes, but we want to do the same checks that we did when we were making the timer for the player. Okay, so here what we're gonna check, we're going to say if, what is that, computer current word index. That's what we want. Okay, now it sees what we want to check, but let's now let's not click tab, let's just write our own code. A lot of things doesn't look right here. If computer current word index is less than, now here is going to be words. Okay, words dot length. Okay, like that, then we know the game is still going. Okay, the same thing that we were doing. Okay, so here we know that the word is still going. So now we're going now. Okay, now the AI knows what we want. So let's click tab, and then I'm going to explain. Okay, so here, yeah, we're going to need the current word, but it's not going to be this word that we have initialized here. We want to actually to compare with this one. So here, instead of that, we're going to say final current word. Okay, which is this word at the current index. We get it here. Okay, now before all of this, let's cut this. Okay, we need to first compare this current word and the word which is here. Okay, so here we have to make a comparison here. Okay, we have to check if AI word is equals to current word. If that is equals to that, then we know that the AI has done its it has completed its word. Okay, so what we're gonna do is this word, we're gonna set it again to empty. AI word is going to equal to empty, so that it can start writing another word. And then computer score, we are going to increment it now +1. Okay, and then the other thing is the current word index, we are going to also increment it. Okay, so here we're going to get also the computer current word index. This one also we are going to increment it by 1. So here we can just say plus equals equals 1. Okay, this is actually the same thing of just incrementing it with like that. Okay, like this. Okay, this, okay, I've just gotten the same thing. Here I need to increment the computer score, not the current weight index. Okay, computer score. Okay, I don't know how we have saved it. I've forgotten what is so we have the score, computer score. Okay, let's copy that and then paste it there. Yeah, we're going to increment it. So if it has managed to make this word, that word which was empty, if it is equals to this word, then we are going to increment its score. Okay, great. Else if it hasn't done this, so we are still inside this if. Okay, in the else we are going to do the same. Okay, so here we are going to just add the next letter. Okay, add next letter to AI word. So yeah, it's going to be AI word plus current word index, and then we're going to get AI word dot length. Okay, so if this is not met, it's just going to be, if it is met, it's going to do like that, else it's just going to be adding until this is done. Okay, great. And then now after all of this, that's when we can notify the changes. Okay, yeah. Now in the else, we know what we have to do. First, we have to stop the timer. Okay, so we can just simply call timer dot cancel. Did we call it as, yeah, we can just say we cancel this timer here. Okay, timer dot cancel, like that. And then of course we stop the game, and then we are going to call win. Okay, we're going to call win game for the computer, and then that's it. That's all we have to do. Okay, in the else of this one, if this is not met, if it's greater than this, and then which means the computer has won, we're going to stop the game and then call win game. Okay, great. So that's it. This is going to be our method where, okay, now I'm confused. Okay, it said start AI timer. Okay, I thought it's saying start timer. So this is now the method for starting the AI timer, which we are calling here. And then that's it for our method. Now this video is very long. We are going to stop this video right here. Remember, we have created the start timer. In the next video, once we click here, we have to start this time and play the game. Okay, we also know that now in the next one, your score and the computer score is going to be displaying. Thank you guys, and see you in the next video.